Childhood trauma is a pretty popular topic of discussion, huh? Videos going over certain events from movies, games, and TV shows that absolutely horrified one when they were a mere child. Like those people, I too have had certain things from my childhood that horrified the hell out of me. Keeping my ass up at night waiting for fucking demon clowns to come out and eat me or something. But despite me not having as many traumatizing moments as others, not to mention with it being Halloween pretty soon, I still thought it'd be fun to go over stuff from my childhood that either somewhat creeped me out, or scared the trousers off me. This won't be in any particular order, or be in any kind of category. It's just me looking over random stuff no matter what order or what they're from. With all that said, let's start this journey through memory lane. It was supposed to be a fade out transition there, but I guess they don't have that feature. Let's start off early in my childhood with the Nick Jr. series, Jack's Big Music Show. The show about Jack and his big music show. Anyway, one episode I remember was about monsters. Despite the monster thing, I remember the episode being relatively harmless, except for one aspect. Okay, so this lady would usually have a song number every episode, and fitting the monster theme of the episode, of course the song will be about that. And much like the rest of the episode, it's relatively harmless. Until the end.
The monster twister, so can you.
This moment didn't scare me too much, but it definitely left me unsettled. To the choppiness of this guy's movement, to the fact he even dashes towards the freaking camera. Shouldn't be too hard to see why I always dreaded this moment when the episode reran or if the song played during a commercial break or something. Alright, now let's fast forward when I was getting to this obscure Cartoon Network show. You probably never heard of it. It's called Steven Universe. I'm going to be talking about 3 episodes in particular that just left me uncomfortable. First one is where Steven's learning about the gem's shape-shifting ability. In the process, he ends up turning his fingers into cats. It was cool at first, but then they really started to cause trouble for him. Then the ending happens where he looks like this.
Steven?
Dad! Help! The cat fingers are taking over my body!
Can't you make them go away?
I tried, but it made it worse. My life is over. I can't go on magic adventures. I can't even open the fridge. And I'll never get to have another water fight with you, Dad, because these things hate water. They hate water. Turn on the super wash.
No, I won't do it. It's too dangerous.
You've got to. I'm a monster. I'm an adorable cat monster.
No, you're not. You're my son.
Dad, please.
My god, the way Steven sounds here as he's being consumed by these cats, along with seeing this beautifully animated blob he turned into, just really upset me as a kid. The music didn't really make things any better either. Another episode is where Steven finds a shard that Pearl was looking for. And while trying to find her in town, Steven ends up using the shard to help his kid with a costume for the fry shop. Seeing as the shard can make clothing come to life. And then it turns into this monstrosity. Like, the mascot itself never really scared me that much, but the veins on it kinda did. The last episode I want to bring up is the one where Steven's introducing the concept of birthdays to the gems. Later on, Steven realizes he may be getting too old for birthday activities, and he literally starts aging rapidly, due to some kind of magic BS with his gem. And he literally almost dies of old age, making the other gems watch in horror, and desperately try to stop the aging with the birthday activities Steven showed them. Like, geez, how is this even allowed on TV? But other than that, my childhood was relatively squeaky clean when it came to TV shows. Let's talk about a video game that scared the balls off me. Pikmin 3. Probably one of my favorite games of all time, with its genuinely fun gameplay mechanics and vast variety of puzzles and collectibles. The Pikmin franchise is also known for its strange looking creatures. So which one of these weird alien assholes is responsible for traumatizing the crap out of me? It was him. This guy right here. This thing can be found in the tropical wilds near the location of your ship. And this motherfucker would come out of some kind of hole, lunge at you, and eat up any Pikmin it catches. What made this thing so scary is that when I first played it, this thing came right the fuck out of nowhere. And I hate shit like that. So every time I came across that hole, I just kind of walked against the rock that was near it. And I did eventually get over my fear of that thing, so that's good. So the last 5 things I mentioned, while they definitely creeped me out and left an impact on me, I wouldn't really say they were traumatizing. Well, things are about to change because now we're entering the zone of pure trauma. Well, pure trauma for kid me, to be more specific. Anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, when I bring this up, it's not what you think. Because despite the game coming out when I was like 9, I never really played it, and you could thank these two particular YouTube videos for that. The first one is from Super Mario Logan, or SML for short. I haven't really been keeping up with the channel since 2018, but I do hear they got into some kind of lawsuit with Nintendo, so now they can't use the Mario plushes in their videos, so that kind of sucks, I guess. Fortunately, the video I'm going to be talking about today obviously happened long before the lawsuit. It's about Junior having a sleepover with his friends Cody and Joseph, and at some point they end up playing a bit of Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I wonder if this is going to come up again later. Anyway, once the boys decide to head to sleep, well...
What?
Holy shit, this fucking image right here had my 10-year-old ass scared. Was I 9 when I watched this? I don't know. This fucking creepy ass FNAF animatronic staring at you through a dark hallway really had my baby-brained ass up all night. Oh, and also there's the ending too.
Hey, Chef Pee-Pee?
I'm just trying to teach you little brats a lesson.
Wait, so you killed Joseph?
Wait, no, I didn't kill Joseph.
What?
I just had the mask on.
Wait, if you didn't kill Joseph, then that means...
Damn. Oh, no.
Alright, so the next video I'm going to be showing you might be a little surprising, but you know those weird little animations that would involve Caillou being grounded? I used to eat these videos up as a kid. But looking back now, I sort of get more of an ironic enjoyment out of these, with the cheap animation and how ridiculous the stories got at times. But the video I want to talk about doesn't involve Caillou getting grounded. It's more of a FNAF spoof where instead of a Freddy Fazbear's, it's a Chuck E. Cheese, which was a reoccurring place in these Caillou Gets Grounded videos. Anyway, the video itself is about Caillou waking up at a Chuck E. Cheese, due to some evil Barney or something, I don't know. If you played Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm sure you know how this would play out. Caillou's looking through security cameras, keeping watching the animatronics. And once the animatronics reach him, he quickly closes the door. And like a lot of these Go Anime videos, it's really not that great. It's honestly a lot shorter than I remember. And honestly, everything I just mentioned wasn't the stuff that traumatized me as a kid. It was the ending. So all the events turned out to be a dream. And then this happens. Did I mention I hate jump scares? Like, I actually remember this cut to black before the scare being longer, and I was never able to look at the TV in my room the same way again. When it was off, that is. And when trying to get some sleep at night. The last two things I want to bring up are actually from books. Two children's books that take the cake for some of the most traumatizing shit my kid eyeballs have ever witnessed. First book is titled, Tell Me a Scary Story, but Not Too Scary. About this father telling his daughter a story from when he was a kid. He was bringing this propped eyeball back to his weird-ass neighbor. Once he gets there, the neighbor shows him other propped eyeballs he has. And eventually this. This thing and this image of him coming up the stairs had me pissing myself. What made it even worse is that the first time this was being read to me, there was audio and voiceover for it. Yeah, it was during my 4th grade library period. Back in elementary school, where library was an actual period and not just a place you go to. Next book I want to discuss is going to be an interesting one. Because I don't know if this is due to poor research or if this is actual lost media, but I don't have any videos or pictures of the book. So I'm going to be describing it with my own edits. Okay, so it was a Friday in the 3rd grade. Me and my friend had just entered our room for our weekly special ed thing called speech. By the way, yes, I'm actually on the spectrum, and no, I do not know why it was called speech. Anyway, while we were waiting for the teacher, my friend found this book about monsters, which was something he was really into, by the way. The book itself had a certain formula to it, where one page would showcase a specific area in a house, alongside a set of yellow eyes peeping out somewhere. The narrator, by the way, this is also an audiobook with scary background music and a narrator that sounded like a whiny Gilbert Gottfried, would plead you not to turn the page as he claimed the monster was really scary. Then you turn the page where the monster hiding would be shown scared. Anyway, the first monster was in a bedroom, with the yellow eyes being under the bed. The monster itself sort of looked like Mr. Small from The Amazing World of Gumball, but with a long robe and long green fingers. Next monster was in the closet, and it sort of looked like Demon's Crest from Ghosts and Goblins. The next page was different, as it was a hallway with a door opening with a yellow light, with the monster looking like an orangutan. Next was a basement monster that was a fish with an orange top half and a dark gray tail. The last monster didn't really have a specific room, it just kind of showed the yellow eyes, and the narrator was saying this was the scariest monster of all. But then you turned the page and it turned out to be a mouse. Despite the story supposedly being over, I specifically remember there being more pages, or at least that's what it looked like to me. That could have been the audio box or something. The book was meant to be more silly and comedic, but I found it anything but. Most likely because of the unsettling artwork, or the atmosphere, or the music and narrator. If any of this sounds familiar to you, or if you happen to know the book more than I do, please let me know. Hell, I remember the cover of this thing. Here's a little sketch I made. So let me know if any of this rings a bell. And that's about it for the shit that scared me in my past. There are more things I could bring up, but if I were to make a part 2, it probably wouldn't be as long. Because like I said, I didn't have a crazy amount of things that scared me as a kid. But that's okay. We all grow up differently with the media we consume and the guidance from our guardians. For better or for worse, of course. So even if my childhood wasn't as traumatizing, I'd still say I utilized the time I had mostly well. Now, normally I don't end videos like this, but what are some of the things that scared you as a kid? Much like this video, it could be from anything from books, games, movies, TV shows, you name it. Don't be afraid to share them in the comments below. Okay, bye. Okay, so I'm just realizing this now. I grew up with some gory ass shit like Dumb Ways to Die, Whack Your Boss, some Hansel and Gretel movie. Like, the stuff I just mentioned, that shit was like really fucking gory. And that didn't bother me. I actually kind of liked some of it. But a book meant for 4-year-olds is the one that kept me up at night. I was a weird kid, man. Anyway, you should subscribe or something if you want to see more content from me. Also, make sure to like this video too.